This is a control engineering expert interview with Martin Zeller, General Manager, CS Instruments USA, www.cs-instruments.com/US. I'm Mark Hosky, Editor-in-Chief of Control Engineering, part of WTWH Media. Martin, welcome, and please briefly explain your role at CS Instruments USA.
Good morning, Mark. Yeah, thank you very much for having me here. Yeah, my name is Martin Zella. I'm the general manager of CS Instruments USA. We are a very young subsidiary of CS Instruments. We have been we founded in 2021, so we just completed our 3-year anniversary. And I'm essentially overseeing all functions which we offer here locally, which are marketing, sales, service, finance, and sourcing. With my team around me, of course. So we service the markets of USA, Canada, and also Mexico.
So now to get into the instrumentation fun, why is precise measurement of compressed air and gases important for control engineering subscribers?
Well, that's a very good question. The compressed air is all around us in manufacturing processes. And well, it is essentially used everywhere. For example, stamping, cutting, bonding, painting, transportation of goods or packages, packaging in general. So it's everywhere around us. And whether you need a large amount or a minuscule amount, you need to know that that the compressed air or the compressed gas arrives in the right amount, in the right quality. And well, essentially, this is what we do. We measure those parameters in compressed air and gases, well, to avoid line shutdowns, waste production, product recalls, brand damage. So these are all potential outcomes if you don't measure the compressed air output or the compressed gas output and the quality of it.
What about how CS Instruments develops, produces, and calibrates compressed air and gas measuring technologies differs from other companies?
Yeah, so we pride ourselves in developing and engineering cutting-edge compressed air and gas instrumentation. We try to stay ahead of the market. So we have a very high degree of engineers in our company. And the calibrations are one key component of our manufacturing process. So we calibrate our sensors not to lab conditions, but to actual field conditions. So we calibrate our sensors under real pressure, which makes an essential difference once they arrive in the market. So you actually get reliable, trustworthy values in the field.
And what product introductions over the past few years address customers' needs in their markets and how? Maybe you could include some application benefits with quantifiable examples if available.
Of course. So we are fortunate enough to be able to launch multiple products throughout a cycle of a year. And just the past year has been almost like a revolutionary year for us because we have been able to launch a brand new oil vapor device, OilCheck 500. This offers multiple features which are unique in the market. So we measure, first of all, from ISO class, the ISO class I refer to is ISO 8573-1. So we measure all the way from ISO class 8573-1, class 1, all the way up to class 4 with one device. It's a 24/7 monitoring. So that all is not new. There have been devices in the market for a long time. But what is new is that we are able now to measure in parts per billion, which is very unique. And we offer in our device 11 calibration points. So within class 1, we offer alone 4 calibration points. When you look at the competitive products, you will have a tough time finding that. Moreover, we offer a very unique sensor swap element in that device, which basically eliminates the downtime entirely. So if it comes, time for calibration, you basically take the unit out, you get a spare sensor unit, you just replace that one and put the sensor immediately back. So from multiple weeks to months, while the unit would be out for calibration, you eliminate the downtime to maybe half an hour for an experienced operator, which is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And we also are able to detect drifts in air quality. So if the oil vapor content increases or decreases, obviously also you will see you drift from an ISO class 1 maybe to a 2 or a 3, which then is very easy for the operator to detect that there is something in the quality compliance where they have to interact or react with the system, stop the system before you produce scrap. So this is very unique. We have done this in cooperation with our customers. We have tested the in field tests, in multiple field tests over the years with the customers, and then are now fortunate enough to launch this device, or have launched the device, I think in the second half of last year. And then also we have, for instance, a differential pressure flow meter, which is very unique in the market because we offer a unique calibration concept in it. Common meters of differential pressure typically start at 20 meters per second, while we start at only 2 meters per second. We are able to detect the whiff of air or compressed gas, which is unique. So, for example, in a 3/4 inch pipe, you would detect a flow of only 0.15 cubic feet per minute, which is very, very low. So we have a lot of those different meters, and very reliable, very successful.
Could you please explain how certifications help quality, environment, and safety for customer applications?
Yeah, so the certification is a critical part of maintaining the meters, making sure that they are working to spec. Just like you maintain your manufacturing equipment, you maintain your compressors, you maintain your stamping press. It's part of making sure that the process works stable. Those sensors are essentially your nervous system of the plant. So making sure that you know that something goes wrong, you need to maintain your sensors so that they can tell you something goes wrong. So they sense something is not in order, and the calibrations are part of that. So putting the sensors on a calibration schedule is highly recommended, and getting them into a routine. Sensors have different requirements. Our sensors are very long-term stable, so they can operate for multiple years, sometimes without a calibration. Depends on the process. The customer essentially decides themselves when they want to calibrate it. It's highly recommended to put it on a recurring schedule, along with the company guidelines and along with the requirements of the quality department of that company. But essentially, yes, just to add that, if you don't maintain it, so you have a growing concern that you may have recalls, which impacts your quality. But also, if you produce scrap, that's an environmental problem, right? So you basically have to, you produce waste, you have to deal with environmental impacts, you increase the carbon footprint. So it's a growing concern. If you don't maintain your machines, it's a growing safety concern as well for operators, people around you. I don't know, there are multiple factors to it. So calibrations are essential to in the maintenance schedule.
Thank you. I think I saw on your website that CS Instruments has 13 subsidiaries. Maybe you could explain a little bit about the working relationship between headquarters in Germany and how that benefits global applications of compressed air and gas measuring.
Yeah, you're right. So, Mark, we have currently 13 subsidiaries. We are a growing company. We meet in regular meetings with the management team and the sales teams, and we exchange applications, best case experiences. So we try to duplicate what we learn in other markets. And headquarters is always part of those exchanges. So they listen, absorb our feedback from the market, and then we implement that in new product development cycles. Something very key is also that we have the capability of offering customized OEM solutions. So if OEMs approach us and say they want to do a this or that or a variation of that product, we are very capable of doing this if the business case allows this. And we learn from those applications. So it's not seldom that we basically we develop something for one customer, we use either that or a variation of this for our own products where all customers can benefit. So the one customer in one country may bring this to us, we learn from this, and we maybe deploy it all over the world then later. So it's a benefit to everybody, and learning from those cases is tremendous.
Your major product areas include dew point, flow meters, leak detection, pressure sensors, compressed air quality, chart recorders, software, power meters, and humidity. We could talk for hours on all of those topics, but maybe you could identify how some of the history in these areas informs how customers approach technology applications in 2025 and beyond.
Yeah, so you're right. We are active in all of those fields. We see a growing importance of in the predictive maintenance world of companies, and also the energy saving efforts are growing fast. Sensors become increasingly important. Gathering data is key. We are able to provide the data, but what we basically see is the importance is not only gathering the data, but also being able to use it. So it's the one point. Yeah, you gather the data, but what do you do after that? And if you measure, you start knowing. If you don't measure, you have no visibility in your plant. But be prepared. If you measure, you also see uncomfortable realities. All of a sudden, if you measure, you need to be prepared to also do something about that, right? So making sure that the values are right, that you understand what you are measuring, bring in a specialist, book an appointment with us. We are happy to help you getting through this. But that's basically what we see over the past years with growing importance. More and more customers fortunately enough, invest in sensors. But not always are also then the efforts taken to then also do something about it, improve your actual process. I mean, this is what we are trying to do, right? We give you the sensors, we help you with the sensors, but then also doing something about it and working on your process to increase your profitability, to reduce waste, increase the quality. There are so many things you can do about that with adding the sensors. And also acknowledging that the truth can sometimes be uncomfortable.
Finally, is there anything we didn't cover that you'd like to add to help Control Engineering subscribers?
Yeah, there is something, and this is often a misinterpretation. Sensors don't have to be really, really expensive, or you don't have to run a major CapEx project to start with compressed air and gas instrumentation. It's very important that you can, important to keep in mind that you can start with sometimes one or two or three sensors, learn from your experiences, and then gradually scale your efforts in the plant. Focus on your key processes. Start with one or two or three sensors with a dew point sensor behind a dryer. Secure your dryer. Make sure that you get dry air. That's one of the easiest steps to undertake. Add for critical process flow sensors or an oil vapor sensor, and then expand gradually. This helps with getting capital approved for sensor investment and also improves gradually, and you can learn from your successes and you can build on that. That's really key. Don't be hesitant to reach out. My team and I, we are happy to help you. And yeah, book a free consultation by our website with one of our engineers.
Thank you, Martin, for your insights about process sensors. Please see other video interviews at www.controleng.com/videos and see other content under the topics area. I'm Mark T. Hosky, Control Engineering Editor-in-Chief, part of WTWH Media. Thank you for attending.
Thank you very much, Mark.